Hello and welcome to this tutorial that will demonstrate how to use the grid method for multiplication. You need to be able to know your times tables and how to manipulate them by multiplying them by 10 and 100, but if you've got both of those techniques down, let's go. The grid method is really useful for multiplying two-digit numbers together. For instance, we've got here 27 and 36. We begin by drawing a grid as shown below with two columns and two rows, and at the top and down the left we can partition each of the numbers and place them on the grid. 20 and 7 makes the 27, 30 and 6 makes the 36. Now, in each of these squares and the rows and the columns we place the answers for each multiplication. So we've got here 30 times 20. The answer is going to go in here. We know that 3 times 2 is 6. We know that 30 times 2 is 60, so we'll know that 30 times 20 is 600. Using our knowledge of times tables and multiplying by 10 and 100. We then look at 7 threes. 7 multiplied by 3 is 21, so 7 multiplied by 30 is 210. In here we multiply 20 by 6. 2 times 6 is 12, so 20 times 6 is 120. And finally in here we place the answer of 6 times 7, which is 42. What we can then do is add up the four numbers, and for this one I'm going to add the 600 and 210, which gives me 810, and I can add 120 and 42, which gives me 162. Finally we can add these two numbers together, 810 and 162, and this is quite simple. 972. Here is 39 multiplied by 76. Now if you're already feeling confident, you can pause the video and have a go at answering it for yourself before I explain it. But if you want to find out a bit more, just continue. We've got 39 multiplied by 76. We'll do what we did before. We partition the numbers. We can partition 30 and 9 along the top, and 76 down the left hand side. Once again we place the products of the multiples into here. 3 times 7 is 21, 30 times 7 is 210, 30 times 70 therefore is 2100. 9 times 7 is 63, so 9 times 70 is 630. 3 times 6 is 18, so 30 times 6 is 180, and 9 times 6 is 54. Once again, we can add up the numbers in the best way that suits you. Once again I'm going to do the top two numbers. 2100 add 630 gives me 2730, and 180 add 54 gives me 234. The last step is to add these together. I've not done the columns very well here, but I'm going to carry on anyway. The units. I've got 4 units. I have got 6 tens, so that is 60. I've got 900, 700 and 200 is 900. And there are 2,000 in the 1,000 columns. So my final answer is 2,964, and well done if you've got that correct. It is now time for you to pause this video and have a go at working out the answer to 28 multiplied by 84 using the grid method. In a few seconds this pause will disappear and we'll give you the answer. Away you go. So let's add these up. We should have these four answers when we've multiplied the four partition numbers. And I'm going to add once again the top two numbers. 1600 and 640 would give me 2240. 80 and 32 give me 112. Then all we need to do is add these two numbers together. We've got 2 units, 5 tens, 3 hundreds and the 2,000, giving us a final answer of 2,352. Well done if you've got that right. Ready to move on to something a bit bigger? Have a look at this. We've got 343 multiplied by 63. And I think you can see by the grid where each number is going to be placed. Along the top is going to be 343 partitioned into its three parts, and 63 will go down the left hand side. We've got to be really careful for multiplying 3 by 6 to make it 30 times 6 to make it 300 times 6 and to make it 300 times 60. Basically, we're multiplying by 1,000. So, if 6 times 3 is 18, we multiply that 18 by 1,000. So we should have 18,000 in that first box. Massive, eh? We've got 6 times 4 is 24, so 60 times 40 will be 2,400. 6 times 3 is 18, so 60 times 3 is 180. Now 3 times 3 is 9, 300 times 3 is 900. 40 times 3 is 12. No, it's not. 43 times 3 is 120 if 4 times 3 is 12. 120 should go in there. And 3 times 3 is 9. Now there are a lot of numbers to add up here, and it makes sense to add together numbers that fit well. So for instance, I'm going to first of all add together the 18,000 and the 2,400. That gives me a first big number of 20,400. What I'll then do is add together the 180 and the 120. And that will give me an answer straight away of 300. And then I've got 909 to add to that. And that's all 6 of the main numbers taken care of. And I've got 3 numbers on this side that are easier to add together. Now, I've got 9 units, that's straightforward. I've got no tens. 900 and 300 is 1,200. And 400 more gives me 1,600. So I'll put the 600 here, and I carry the 1,000 over to the thousands column, and that's the only 1,000 that is in there. And I've got 20,000 at the very end. So the answer to 343 multiplied by 63 is 21,609. This is our last question of the tutorial, so pause the video now and have a go at answering this for yourself before we reveal the answer. Best of luck! Now there's a lot of adding to do for this, so we'll work through it slowly. First of all, I'm actually going to get rid of the 7,200 and 1,800. If I add those two down, add them together, I will get 9,000. I'll add that 9,000 to 27,000, and I should get 36,000. What I can then do is add together the 480, the 150 and the 40. No units. 80 at 50 at 40 gives me 170. So I can place 70 there, and I can place the 100 here, and that will give me 670 if I add all those hundreds up. I add the 670 to the 36,000, and that gives me a nice answer, a nice final total of 36,670. If you've got to the end of this tutorial without any mistakes, well done indeed. It gets very tricky very quickly, and if you get to numbers beyond hundreds, I would certainly consider using a different method than the grid method. But well done for getting this far.